the worse it is, the bigger the reward that's coming your way. Hey y'all, hey, it's khameleonkay, and today I am talking about how to stay high vibrational permanently and how to continuously, consistently, and constantly attract good things in your life, no matter what's going on. I literally walk around knowing I'm good, regardless of what may happen to me or in my life, and it's been this way for years now, ever since I changed my perspective. 2012 to be exact. If you know my story, in 2011, 2012, those years taught me a lot. I lost my job. I started my first business. I broke up with my first love. I had my second child. Me and one of my best friends had fallen out. I had literally hit rock bottom. But I've been on the up and up ever since I've learned these things that I'm about to discuss in this video. So if you want to hear that, then keep on watching. Now, there are other videos that talk about perspective on gratitude. They may talk about journaling, affirmations, and I'm all for that. I'm all for those things. However, if you want to hear those things, it's so many videos on them that today that isn't the angle that I'm taking. I want to discuss things that have helped me personally when you are in those situations where something negative happens and it's almost like a gut punch. Like, it catches you off guard. You don't expect it to happen. It's something negative. And in those moments, you need to know how to react to still stay high vibrational. And that's what I'm going to discuss today. These are the things that I do in those moments, those quick moments that you need to react quickly, or you need to know how to turn the situation around fast into something positive. And that's the tools that I'm going to be discussing today that I utilize in my own everyday life. Now, I know you've heard the saying glass half full versus glass half empty, and the way that you look at things. And I feel like there's an easier way to stay grateful in the present. And it's now a habit for me, so I do it subconsciously now. I don't even think about it. It's just like second nature for me. And that is to find the humor in any situation, even when it's not funny or initially it isn't anyway. If you really look at most situations, I say about 90% of situations, whether it's the situation itself, something surrounding the situation, something around the situation, or something about it itself, most of the time you can find something funny about it. And I'm literally the type of person that can find humor in anything. Like, my friends can call me and tell me any situation and I'm gonna make them laugh. And they're the same way with me. Like, I guess to be my friend, you gotta have a sense of humor, like, because I'm silly. But there's rarely a time that I can't find something funny within the situation. So, for example, I had a friend call me and say, girl, why I woke up to go to work this morning and my car wasn't out there because it got repossessed. Now, normally you wouldn't think something like that is funny, right? But the first thing I did was I bust out laughing. And when I bust out laughing, she bust out laughing. Because we can always find the humor in everything. And I might say something like, oh, you just knew you wasn't about to be busing, Ubering, or lifting a day, huh? But now, look like you about to be Flintstone in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can always find something like a joke or some type of humor in anything. Like, I can literally find something funny in any situation. And if you really think about, even sometimes like now, if you think back on situations that had you down or upset you or had you feeling sad or whatever the case may be, some type of negative emotion, if you think back on it later in life or you think back on it after the situation is resolved, 9 times out of 10 you can find something funny about it. But it's harder to find things funny about it when it's happening in that moment. But if you can find that same thing that would be funny later in the moment it happens, it'll make life a lot lighter. Another thing that I do, and you probably heard this one, another thing that I do is I look at things that happen to me as happening for me. And sometimes that's easier said than done when you're in this situation. But to give you an example, the other day I was taking my daughter to the movies. But I had to go get her best friend because I was taking both of them. And I'm trying to get to her, I'm trying to get to her best friend's house because I know now, like with all the delays, we're going to be about 15 minutes to the movie, and I had to be back to pick my son up at a certain time, right? So you may feel annoyed in that moment because now you're going to be late for the movies, right? But on the way back down the Beltway, I saw that there was 2 accidents. One was like a whole lineup. It was 2 really big bad accidents. And if you look at things like that, if you know, it's a reason for everything. Sometimes the universe or God or, you know, whatever higher being you believe in is working for you. They're working things out for you. And if you trust in that and you believe in that, a lot of times you'll see why things don't work out the way they do. Me getting fired from my job years ago, that put me in a mindset of nobody will ever be able to do that to me again, right? I hated the experience. I hated feeling micromanaged. So now, 12 years later, I've been a full-time entrepreneur and have not put myself in that position again. Things happen for you. It isn't always, you know, like I know in those moments it's hard to look at it like that, but if you can look at the lighter side of things, find the humor in it, and just roll with life, a lot of times there's something better waiting around the corner. I'd rather have been 15 minutes late for that movie than to be in that pile up. It just gives you the space to lighten the mood and allow redirection quickly. Crying, ruminating, and dwelling on negative situations does nothing to help you or the situation, and you feel bad in the process, and that won't help you or the situation. So sometimes you have to look at negative situations like, dang, like this must about to be good. Because if you look at the worst the situation is and match that with the good that's coming, if you like equate those things, you may be able to walk around a little bit more grateful. Back then, when I talk about 2011, 2012, I was losing weight. I was stressed out. I was crying myself to sleep every night. I was scared because at the time I didn't have any money coming in. I was grieving the loss of what I thought would be my family. Getting my first clients was hard for me for reasons I've discussed in other videos. At the time, my bills were behind and I was angry. But then I let go, which brings me to my next point. I let go of the need to control, which some people call detachment. And I decided to only focus on the things that were within my control and the things that I could change for the better. Once I mastered that, all the things I wanted, all the things I desired during one of the most difficult times of my life wanted me. I had too many clients. My ex wanted me back. I made my first 10K month and bills were no longer a factor. And just as a side note, even if someone does something horrible to you initially, it may hurt. Trust me, I know. Try to find a way to look at it as the worse it is, the bigger the reward that's coming your way. And whoever did it, don't focus on them, because they know what they did, and whoever or whatever you believe in knows too. So it's not your place to give it energy, whether it's negative or positive energy. Just detach. Trust they'll be handled without your interference. Your job is just to focus on what is within your control. And this entire combination is what has kept me in positive energy and kept positive things coming my way. And it's never failed me.
Yeah. Hey. Pack it up, so long like I'm backing up. Must be new to this side of town. Not the one to keep quiet now. I ain't even trying to burn bridges. Not the one that you better cross. I done had friends jump ship. Since then I've been better off. Been about that game time. We were never in the same frame. You could even put a date on it. Game day is like payday.